Amazing on his cell phone camera video of Bigfoot.
Yeah, he recorded this video in McDowell County where several people reported seeing the creature over the years. NBC Charlotte's Brandon Goldner spoke to the man who described his experience.
Alone in the woods, the silence is broken. Not by the wind, not by an animal you know, but by something else. A shadow moves, tall, out of the ordinary but watching you. For as long as people have wandered into the wilderness, they've come back with stories, some filled with wonder, others dripping with fear. Hunters, campers, even seasoned rangers have all claimed to see things that don't fit into the world we know. Glowing eyes where there should be none, towering shapes slipping between trees, voices that call out from the dark. Are these myths, hoaxes, or something we've never truly discovered? Tonight we step into the woods and explore the chilling encounters that continue to haunt those who dare to speak of them.
Don't do that! Those eyes, guys. Nope, I'm done.
It was April 5th, 2009, just another evening ride for an ATV enthusiast on the back trails of Gum Hill. The sun had dipped, the air still holding that golden glow of early dusk, when he decided to follow the creek. Water rushed fast over the rocks, the steady hum of the ATV blending with nature's chorus. At around 6:30 p.m., the rider suddenly slowed. Something stirred ahead, moving across the narrow stretch of creek. His camera, which was just a basic Viewpoint 5.0 tucked in a waterproof case, happened to be rolling. Through the lens, a figure emerged. Not a man, not a bear, something else. The creature was massive, roughly 7 feet tall and weighing an estimated 350 pounds. Dark, bulky, but quick, and crossing the creek with an ease that no human could manage. The rider froze, staring. For years he had heard whispers of the Beast of Gum Hill, a reclusive giant said to haunt the region's wooded valleys for over a century. Most dismissed it as legend, but this time he had proof. This wasn't his first encounter. He had glimpsed the beast once before but never caught it on film. Tonight, though, the camera captured those fleeting seconds, grainy but unmistakable. For a moment, the old stories came alive. A creature born of local folklore, stepping out of the shadows into reality. Some point to a still photograph from the early 1980s as the first evidence. But this was moving, breathing, undeniable. The Beast of Gum Hill was no longer just a tale whispered around campfires. It was right there, caught on tape, striding across a creek in the fading light. And if this was real, what else could be waiting in the forests of Gum Hill? The clip begins in the quiet stillness of the woods. Sunlight filters through the treetops, casting shifting shadows over the forest floor. At first, nothing seems out of the ordinary, just a calm recording of the natural world. But within moments, the atmosphere changes. A line of trees in the distance begins to sway, not from the wind, but from something unseen exerting force upon them. It's the kind of movement that instantly raises questions. This isn't the gentle rocking of branches during a breeze, nor is it the aftermath of a storm. The trees bend and shake with sudden bursts of power, as though something heavy is gripping them, pushing and pulling with deliberate strength. The camera captures the scene in full, but the creature responsible never steps into view. That absence is what makes this video so compelling. If it were a person, we should have been able to see them, right? Even a group of people would struggle to move trees of that size in the way they are swaying here. The distance, the density of the forest, and the scale of the movement point to something else completely. Some might say it could be construction equipment, but the clip has no sound of machinery, no glimpse of vehicles, nothing mechanical at all. It is pure wilderness, silent completely. When people first shared this video, viewers started sharing theories. Some viewers insisted it had to be Bigfoot. After all, reports of the creature often describe not only its size, but also its astonishing physical strength. Witnesses through the years have spoken about hearing branches snapped like twigs, trees pushed aside, and even shelters built from large logs that no human could reasonably lift alone. In that context, the swaying trees in this footage fit the legend perfectly. Others remain suspicious, suggesting natural explanations. Could the trees simply be loosening and shifting under their own weight? These are valid questions, but the footage challenges those answers. Root rot causes slow and gradual collapse, not sudden bursts of motion. The trees here move in a way that looks directed, purposeful, as though some unseen hands are pulling them from below the canopy. The most unsettling part is how controlled it seems. The swaying doesn't spread randomly across the area. It's just focused on one area, as though one large figure is interacting with a cluster of trees at once. That detail makes the hidden Bigfoot theory harder to dismiss. What we're left with is a mystery caught on film. The camera never lies, and yet here it leaves us with more questions than answers. Who or what has the power to bend living trees like this, unseen and deep in the woods? Perhaps this is one of those rare glimpses, not a clear view of the creature itself, but evidence of its presence through the impact it has on the world around it. Whether you believe in Bigfoot or not, this clip forces you to wonder, what else is out there, just beyond sight, moving through the trees where no human should be? In the heart of the forest, a man's quiet day of filming takes a sudden and terrifying turn. At first it seems innocent enough. He's pointing his camera toward the trees, convinced he's spotted movement. In the beginning, you can hear his uncertainty as he mutters about hearing a deer somewhere nearby.
Is there a deer back there? I hear a deer, maybe? I don't know. I can't even see back there.
His voice is nervous, as though he's trying to convince himself it's nothing out of the ordinary, while trying to convince the audience he did see something. The forest is alive with the usual background noise, wind, leaves, distant sounds, but the uncertainty in his tone makes it clear that something doesn't feel right. He admits he's terrible with the camera, and struggles to focus on the shadows between the trees, scanning desperately for the source of the noise. Panic creeps in the setting as something moves far ahead. Either someone out there is messing with him, or it really is something out of the ordinary. The way he says the thing sends chills down the spine. It's not said lightly, not like someone joking. There is something dark, tall and far that just moved. He may have stumbled across something entirely out of place. He calls it the hermit, whatever you want to call it, reaching for a word that can explain what he's seen. His disbelief is palpable. He didn't see it clearly with his eyes, he says, but caught its movement through the viewfinder, a fleeting, unsettling glimpse of something large moving where no person should be. The man steadies himself, but his fear grows. His tone seems weird under the pressure of what he's experiencing. He swears he saw something, though the camera can't quite capture it in the open. He describes glancing away from the lens and catching it in his peripheral vision. That instinctive sense that you're being watched, that something is hiding just at the edge of sight. It's the kind of moment that makes the hair on your neck stand up, where instinct screams louder than reason. Then he recalls a chilling detail. This isn't the first time.
Hang on, I'm gonna do a couple calls.
He admits that just this past summer, he and his son saw something similar in the very same patch of woods. It was massive, black, and towering, and both of them instantly knew it wasn't a deer. That memory lingers heavily in his retelling, as though what he's experiencing now is a continuation of an encounter he thought was long behind him.
No, just this past summer, my son and I saw something big get up just right back in here and leave. It was black, and it was quite large. We both decided it wasn't a deer. We didn't leave, though.
He's not laughing, not exaggerating, he's remembering. And yet, despite the fear, he doesn't run. He stands there whispering to himself as the forest looms around him, as if it's holding its breath. His voice quivers, his breathing shakes, but he keeps the camera rolling. For viewers, the raw terror is undeniable. You're watching not just shaky footage of trees and shadows, but the unraveling of a man's nerves in real time. The year was 2013, and what started as a simple adventure quickly became one of the most chilling pieces of alleged cryptid evidence ever captured on camera. Two teenagers, spending time at their family cabin, decided to explore the surrounding woods. It was a bright, sunny day, the kind of afternoon where curiosity feels harmless. But the day took on a course no one saw coming. Their path led them to the skeletal remains of a house. According to locals, it may have once been occupied in the early 1950s, but now it was nothing more than a ruin swallowed by time. Its roof sagged inward, walls leaned as if ready to collapse, and every surface seemed to carry decades of decay. Still, something about the place pulled them in. They wanted to see what secrets an abandoned home might hold. The footage shows them stepping carefully through the wreckage. Sunlight cuts through the gaps in the walls, illuminating broken furniture and debris. The first thing that stands out is the floorboards, ripped, splintered, almost as though something had forced its way up from below. The teens seemed somewhat shocked, yet curiosity had them going inside. Then, another detail emerges. Strange, dark liquid dripping from the ceiling. It coats the wood in oily streaks, too thick and foul-looking to be rainwater. The air seems to thicken around them, like the house itself is breathing. Curiosity wins over fear, and they continue filming as they edge closer to a staircase leading down to the basement. The mood shifts instantly. Shadows swallow the narrow steps, and even through the camera, it feels as if something is waiting below. One of them isn't hesitating as he casually strolls down the stairs until the moment everything changes. From the basement door, a head suddenly pops into view. Pale, gaunt, with hollow eyes set too deep into its skull, it locks onto the camera. The teens don't wait to confirm what they've just seen. They scream, spin on their heels, and bolt from the house, the camera jerking wildly as they run back into the daylight. But the story doesn't end there. Later close-up analysis of the footage reveals chilling details. The creature's face appears elongated, the skin stretched unnaturally tight, with no trace of humanity left. Some believe this was a Wendigo, which is a creature of Algonquian legend, said to be born from cannibalism, cursed with endless hunger and a monstrous form. Other clips, filmed in the same area around that time, only fueled speculation, showing what looked like the same figure lurking near the tree line, its thin frame moving unnaturally against the backdrop of sunlit forest. Skeptics argue it could have been a hoax, maybe even CGI, but the raw, scared reaction of the teenagers, paired with the unsettling details of the ruined house, make it difficult to dismiss entirely. And for those who know the Wendigo legends, the setting seems suspiciously fitting. A once-inhabited cabin, abandoned, consumed by time and something darker. Whether real or staged, the 2013 footage leaves viewers shaken. Was it truly a Wendigo, peering out from the shadows of an old ruin, or just the imagination of two teenagers caught on tape? The fear on their faces, however, suggests one terrifying truth. Whatever they saw in that basement was enough to make them run for their lives. In the vast and silent wilderness of Scandinavia, nature often holds surprises that even the most seasoned explorers don't see coming. Vahid Kulsberg, an experienced outdoorsman, was out hiking with his loyal dog when his camera captured something few ever want to experience firsthand: a bear charge. It begins innocently enough. The air is calm, filled with the distant calls of birds and the rustle of trees in the wind. Vahid is relaxed, speaking to his dog, when suddenly movement catches his eye.
Come into hit! Come into hit! Da. Eh. Don't come here. Come into hit! Nay.
The tension spikes. His voice trembles between urgency and disbelief as he realizes something is moving. Through the trees, a shadow stirs, growing larger with every second. What seemed like a fleeting glimpse of wildlife quickly transforms into something far more dangerous. A brown bear, young but powerful, is barreling toward them. The camera shakes as Vahid yells desperately, "Don't come here! Go away!"
Nay. Come into hit! Come into hit! Nay. Go bot! Come into hit! Come into hit!
The chaos is undeniable as the branches snap, gravel shifts, and the unmistakable charge of an animal fills the space. Vahid hurls rocks and shouts, hoping to scare the bear before it closes the gap. The bear stops, confused by the noises and stones. It's only then that Vahid realizes it's a cub, perhaps only a year or two old, curious but reckless. His voice softens slightly as adrenaline fades. It was a young cub, not this year, maybe 1-2 years old. We don't need it here. But relief doesn't erase the reality of the encounter. Bears leave claw marks etched deep into tree trunks, their droppings scattered along the trail, a clear warning that this wilderness is their home. The real danger isn't just the cub, but what might follow and what could have happened if it hadn't stopped. If the mother bear had been nearby, this story could have ended very differently.
Seen bears before, but it's first time one charged on us like this. If it wasn't for this steep hill here.
Soon, the bear has fled back down the slope, but the weight of what just happened lingers. Vahid admits it's the first time a bear has truly charged at him, and if it weren't for the steep hill slowing the animal down, neither he nor his dog may have escaped unscathed. Encounters like this remind us that the wilderness is raw, unpredictable, and unforgiving. One wrong move, one step too close, and the balance between man and nature can shift in an instant. When it comes to raw, unfiltered encounters in the woods, few channels capture it quite like Dee's dark adventures. Dee has a way of pulling viewers into her world, not with deliberately performed scripted scares, but with the very real terror of what unfolds right in front of her camera. And in one particular live stream, that terror escalated into something unforgettable. It all begins innocently enough. Dee and her companion are outside, scanning the tree line with flashlights and cameras. At first, it seems like nothing more than a late-night exploration. But then, eyes. Shiny, reflective, unmistakable eyes glaring back at them from the dark. They struggle with their lights while in a state of disbelief. There seems to be someone watching them from an abandoned building. Their nervous laughter barely masks the fear that's building.
Come here, look at my camera. I'll let you use this. Hello? Is that a... It's got an eyeball, dude. Look in there, it's got a shiny eye.
I see something there. It's coming up on your camera.
Oh my God. Look at that. It's got a nose, dude.
Where's your phone at?
Put your light back up. Your light, not your camera.
I want to see it come up here.
Put your light back up. That's how I saw it, with your light.
Huh?
Ooh, it's got two shiny eyes, dude. Look in my camera.
I see it.
It's got a shaped head and two shiny eyeballs, man, and looking right at us.
It's like it's right up there.
Then we hear sounds. Banging in the distance. At first they dismiss it. Maybe an animal. Maybe just rocks shifting. But when the noise grows louder, heavier, almost deliberate, the mood shifts. Dee admits she feels chills wash over her body. The forest has gone from curious to threatening in a matter of minutes. Back at the car, the activity doesn't stop. It intensifies. Something begins messing with the vehicle, rattling it, even lifting it, as Dee frantically shouts for it to stop. When she feels like it's been enough, she calls the creature in the name of Jesus Christ to stop. And for a brief second, the assault pauses. This suggests that the creature might be able to understand and communicate, which adds another layer of fear to the scene.
Hello, my name's Dee. Guys, something's just on the door. Hold on a minute. Something's just touching my car. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna scare it away with a dang balloon going on, babe. Stop!
Inside the house later that night, the creature follows her. Dee hears footsteps on the roof. The walls shake, and her camera captures faces that look skeletal, peering through windows, hunched figures lurking in the brush. She's not alone, and the creatures outside seem to know it. At one point, Dee addresses them directly. It's a rare, vulnerable moment where curiosity and fear collide. But the forest doesn't give her the answer she wants. Instead, she's left with more banging, more eyes in the darkness, and the creeping realization that these beings aren't passing through, they're here and watching.
God. Huh? Dude. Clicking. Dude.
As the hours drag on, Dee catches glimpses of multiple entities. Some appear to crouch low, their glowing eyes betraying their position. Others move fast, too fast for the camera to track. At one point, she even swears she can see breath, warm air condensing in the cold night, proving that whatever's there is alive, close, and terrifyingly real. By the end of the night, Dee is exhausted, frightened, and overwhelmed. Her audience is glued to the stream, flooding the chat with theories.
Are those eyes? Don't do that. Are those eyes, guys? Nope, I'm done. I'm done.
Bigfoot, spirits, demons, forest guardians. Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. Something was out there with her. Something powerful enough to shake her house, bold enough to walk across her roof, and curious enough to peer straight into her windows. For Dee, this wasn't just another adventure. It was a brush with the unknown, one that left her and her thousands of viewers questioning just what kind of creatures really stalk our forests after dark. A peaceful afternoon stroll didn't stay calm for long. In this next clip, a woman was out walking with her child and the family dog when her camera caught movement in the trees. At first glance, the figure seems almost hidden, yet moving with his tall, broad build and covered in dark brown fur. It isn't darting away like a deer or moving with the grace of a bear. Instead, it looms upright, with a frame far too massive to ignore. The uploader, Strange Spotting, described the moment as one of confusion and immediate fear. We see her shouting for the kid to come inside. Some suggested that what she captured could be a dogman, the upright wolf-like creature reported across North America. But on closer inspection, the details just don't match. There's no elongated snout, no pointed ears, and none of the canine-like legs that dogman sightings usually describe. What's left, many argue, is something far closer to a classic Sasquatch.
Oh, come on inside! Carly!
Skeptics quickly start sharing their theories, pointing to the possibility of CGI or visual trickery. Strange Spotting also acknowledged that the video could be fabricated, but also stressed how convincing it appeared in person. And that's a point worth considering. The sheer size of the figure seems to rule out a man in a suit. Costumes often fail to replicate that level of bulk and natural movement. The clip has since fueled a familiar debate. What exactly did she capture? A trick of someone messing with her? An elaborate hoax? Or genuine evidence of something unknown sharing the woods with us? The mystery only deepens when you watch the footage closely. The broad shoulders, the dark silhouette, and the way the trees seem to frame it all lend to the unsettling sense that this was no ordinary walk in the woods. Whether Bigfoot, Dogman, or something else entirely, the encounter shows how even an ordinary family outing can suddenly collide with the extraordinary and leave us with more questions than answers. In the frozen stillness of northern Maine, the snow lies like a sheet of white glass across the wilderness, unbroken except for the shadows of towering pines and the river in between. It was March 2021 when a man, simply looking to scout fishing spots with his drone, ended up capturing something far more chilling than he ever anticipated. At the time, his eyes were glued to the small screen of his iPhone, squinting, convinced the lens would only record the uneventful day he was having. The drone sailed above the tree line, the camera panning across the calm river and tree side. Nothing out of the ordinary until later, when the footage was finally downloaded. What emerged from those frames was enough for anyone to question what more is there about the wilderness that we are unaware of. Tucked between the trees, a dark figure appears, its outline dark and merging in the trees. It moves with purpose, striding through an untouched patch of forest where no human trail could possibly exist. The figure is tall, broad-shouldered, and eerily distinct even at a distance. No ordinary hiker would be there, not in this remote and frozen stretch, not in conditions where survival would mean carrying gear, leaving tracks, or wearing bright colors for visibility. Yet this figure blends seamlessly into the woods. As you zoom in, you can see it moving. You can see the creature's build, the deliberate way it steps through, as if the cold means nothing. Its steps are unnervingly long, more than what you'd expect from a human, even a tall one. The shadows of the trees cloak its movements, but its presence feels undeniable. The shape is broad, and even at this distance, its form carries the unmistakable impression of power, of something that belongs to the wild. The man who filmed it insists he saw nothing while flying, no hint on his small screen. Only after reviewing the footage did the truth, or at least the mystery, reveal itself. Was it a trick of the shadows? A hiker, impossibly far off the beaten path? Or was it, as many now believe, undeniable proof that Bigfoot roams even the harshest corners of northern Maine? In the quiet woods of Pennsylvania, a family camping trip became something much more. A simple weekend outdoors turned into a night of fear, mystery, and unanswered questions. This wasn't a story told secondhand. It was captured on camera, moment by moment, by an ordinary YouTube channel called Camp Kids TV. Isaiah, Jonah, their dad, and Garrett set out with one goal: to enjoy camping at Moraine State Park. Their channel is usually lighthearted: tents, toys, and the fun of outdoor living. But this time, the camera caught more than gear reviews. It followed them into a search for Bigfoot, and what seemed to be an encounter they'll never forget. The first signs came early.
Sunken Garden Trail, Moraine State Park.
Yep. So we think this is where Bigfoot could be hiding.
One of the kids points toward the brush, convinced this could be a hiding place. It feels playful, until the water nearby stirs without reason. "What's that in the water? Did you see that?" a voice asks. Seconds later, panic sets in. "Run! Run! Guys, run!"
Run, 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 guys! Guys, run!
The fear is real. The camera shakes as they sprint down the trail. Later, the group stumbles on what looks like a natural shelter, branches pulled into a teepee-like shape. They climb inside, searching. At first, it seemed like nothing, but then sounds echo around them. Branches fall. Something stirs the woods.
No, I saw something fall. It must have been like an acorn.
I'm not staying here.
No, wait.
I'm not staying here.
Wait, Dad, wait.
Guys. What was that? Over there. Over there.
Shh. Sasquatch.
You can hear it. Quick, sharp noises in the background. Their voices shift from curiosity to nervous laughter, to something closer to fear. Not long after, they find large prints pressed deep into the ground. The grass is laid flat, as if something heavy rested there. "It's like something was laying on it," Isaiah says. The tracks lead deeper into the trees.
That's a big track. There's one more over here.
Uncle,
There's
Dad,
one more over here.
Uncle Garrett and Jonah went over that way. We gotta stop them.
That's the way it's leading.
Let's go.
Go. Go, go, go. Find them?
Yeah.
Guys, we found some tracks back there. They were really big.
The camera catches the moment they realize how big these impressions are. For a moment, they debate following, but the mood grows uneasy. Night falls. Back at camp, the family sits in their tent, ready to end the trip. They talk about watching Scooby-Doo Camp Scare before bed. It feels safe again, until the noises start.
Guys, it's real. I saw a hand. Guys, My light's going out. Isaiah, my light's going out. Isaiah. Oh no, it's still here, guys. Guys, I get the lights back on, guys. I have to go outside. I gotta see what this thing was.
Wait,
guys.
wait!
What?
First, say...
The calm breaks. Something brushes against the tent. The light flickers. A hand, they claim, swipes past. It's real. I saw a hand, one of them cries. The camera struggles to keep steady as chaos erupts. When they finally step outside, their campsite is wrecked. Chairs overturned, supplies scattered. In the dark, their voices tremble, part disbelief, part shock. What followed them from the trail had come straight to their camp. Many questions remain. Was it truly Bigfoot, or something else lurking in the park's vast woods? Moraine State Park has long been tied to reports of strange sightings, unexplained noises, and mysterious tracks. This video now joins that long history. So, what do you think? Did Isaiah, Jonah, and their family capture proof of Bigfoot on camera? Or was it a case of fear feeding into shadows of the night? The forest keeps its secrets. The question is, how many more are waiting to be found? Have you ever wondered what happens when the world of the paranormal collides with the mystery of Bigfoot? A hidden graveyard, paw prints in the snow, and a shadow that watches from the trees. Tonight we step into one of the strangest investigations ever filmed. This story comes from Mo Sargi, a Canadian YouTuber known for exploring haunted places. But in this episode, his night led to something more than ghosts. His path crossed with something wild, something that seemed to guard the dead. Mo began in a forgotten cemetery buried deep in the woods. It was past midnight, the air cold, and snow covered the ground. As he moved between leaning tombstones, his camera picked up strange flickers. At first, he thought it was the usual, spirits, whispers, maybe shadows. But then, something else entered the story. Half an hour into the walk, Mo spotted massive paw prints pressed into the snow. They were too large for any dog, too deep to be old. Each one carried weight, the kind that makes your breath catch. He whispered, unsure if what he saw was even real.
Dude, I saw these earlier. They're massive.
Those are paws. Those are massive paws. That's like a big dog or
That ain't a dog. Put your hand beside that. That's massive, bro. Like, measure your hand against that.
Not long after, Mo's equipment began to fail. His drone refused to fly, his EMF meter spiked without reason, and his audio cracked with static. Something was close. He shined his light across the tree line and caught the sense. Someone was watching, or maybe something.
And then you saw it. You saw like a hairy creature. Not an animal, it was freaking massive. And it was running really fast through this way. So then when we gave chase, we found the hair somewhere in the bushes over there.
Mo tried to continue his investigation, but the forest grew restless. Branches snapped in the dark. A heavy thud echoed from beyond the gravestones. His voice grew tense. He wasn't just chasing spirits anymore. He was being followed.
Why would you build something like that just for a graveyard?
Yeah, I mean, they can just go without the walls. Like, they don't need the walls, unless they're really trying to keep something in here.
If you were coming up the river on the side here and you happen to see this, it would look like a fortification on the side of this hill, right? So there's a river down here that if you were coming up the river.
Near the end of the night, Mo stopped to catch his breath. That's when it happened. His camera caught a shape moving along the edge of the graveyard. Tall, broad, and silent. It passed between the trees, its outline darker than the night itself. He froze. Was this Bigfoot, or something tied to the cemetery?
Dude, I swear to God, I just seen something back there.
All right, let's leave. Let's leave. All right.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so we're gonna start working our way up this trail. Okay. And I'm gonna stay in the front, and you guys just stay close to me. All right. And somebody in the back, turn around and watch our back, okay?
All right, I'll do that.
All right, we're gonna start working up. Let's work together.
If I yell, turn around, please get in the middle.
Everybody ready to move? Yep. Ready to move. Move.
Mo wondered if Bigfoot was more than an animal. Could it be a guardian, keeping people from disturbing the dead? Or perhaps, like spirits, It belongs to a world we barely understand. What do you think Mo saw that night? Was it Bigfoot? A spirit taking form? Or both? Leave your thoughts below. Your insight might be the missing piece to this mystery. The wild does not belong to us. It belongs to the unseen, the ones who slip between shadows and vanish without a trace. And sometimes, by chance, we cross their path. Whisper of the wind makes you wonder, is someone watching? That's the uneasy question behind tonight's story. A journey into the remote mountains of Nova Scotia with YouTuber Exploring with Angelo. Known for documenting abandoned places and haunted sites, Angelo turned his lens towards something even stranger. The possibility that Bigfoot roams Canada's coastal wilderness. The trip began like any other outdoor adventure. Rain falling, the forest heavy with mist. But soon, odd events started to unfold. At an old cabin, a heavy metal bucket mysteriously moved on its own, clattering across the ground without warning. Angelo froze, his camera catching the confusion in his voice. Was it the wind, or something stronger?
That, metal bucket-looking thing is now on the ground. What the f***? Someone here?
The clip shows the bucket suddenly shifted, as if tossed from the porch. Angelo circles back, shaken. No animals, no one was nearby. Just the dense forest holding its silence. Later that evening, as the rain poured harder, eerie sounds broke the stillness. Strange moans echoed across the valley, followed by low growls from different directions. At first, they thought of coyotes. But coyotes don't sound like this. The noise was deeper, heavier, almost like words caught in the wind.
Okay, now I'm hearing another one from a different...
Yeah, what is that, dude?
Was that?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Bigfoot?
You can hear the moaning, followed by what Angelo calls unhuman sounds. His dog, Kia, grows restless, staring into the woods as if sensing something unseen. Stories of Bigfoot in Nova Scotia go back decades. Reports from Cape Breton in the 1990s spoke of massive footprints and chilling howls near Lake Ainslie. In the Shubenacadie Wildlife Park, staff once reported bipedal figures along fence lines. In Mabu Highlands, hikers described dark shapes crossing ridges, leaving twisted trees and deep tracks behind. Angelo, aware of these stories, couldn't ignore the parallels. As night closed in, the group split briefly. Angelo followed a muddy trail alone. That's when he heard it. 3 distinct knocks from the trees. A classic sign reported in Sasquatch encounters across North America.
Oh, oh, oh. I think that's what he does, something like that. That was off in that direction. Hello?
The camera captures Angelo stopping in his tracks, whispering that the knocks came from just ahead. Seconds later, he spots what looks like eyeshine flashing back through the haze. The strangest part came after a whistle. Angelo playfully whistled into the dark, and the forest whistled back, the exact same sound. No birds were active in the storm, no humans were nearby. Don't miss this.
Something just went in my eye. Oh, that hurt. That was the same whistle again.
The video records the echoing whistle, followed by heavy movement in the trees. Angelo's voice shakes as he admits, "Something is definitely out here." By midnight, the storm turned the campsite into a mud hole. Around the fire, Angelo ran a spirit box, asking directly, "Is Bigfoot here?" The device replied with chilling phrases, "hunt" and "wild beast." The meaning was unclear, but paired with the sounds, knocks, and eyeshine, The tension was undeniable. Nova Scotia's wilderness has long been a quiet stage for strange reports, from shadowy figures in the Tobique wilderness to whooping calls near Kejimkujik National Park. The region is rich with unexplained encounters. Angelo's experience adds a new chapter, raw, unsettling, and caught on camera. So what do you think? Were those knocks, whistles, and growls the signs of Bigfoot? Or just the forest playing tricks in the storm? In Alaska, there exists a place so vast, so untouched, that even modern maps can't quite define it, spanning millions of acres of dense forest, jagged mountains, and frozen wilderness. This region has earned a chilling nickname, the Alaska Triangle. But this isn't just another spooky name for remote terrain. This triangle has swallowed thousands of people without a trace. Whatever is taking them leaves no footprints, no screams, no evidence, just silence. Former law enforcement officer and Bigfoot researcher David Paulides, author of the Missing 4111 series, has long been fascinated by areas like this. Wild places where people vanish without cause or clue. He believes that many of these missing persons cases, especially the ones in Alaska, defy all logic. Nowhere is this more evident than in the heart of the Alaska Triangle.
And it's here that people go missing without a trace, never to be seen again. These footprints, caught on video right in the middle of the triangle, could be vital Bigfoot evidence. But just off the southern tip of the triangle, there are signs of Bigfoot that are fixed and permanent.
This mysterious zone stretches between Anchorage, Juneau, and Barrow. Within its boundaries lie countless unsolved disappearances, seasoned hunters, experienced hikers, even entire aircrafts have simply ceased to exist. Among the most eerie theories is that these vanishings are tied to an ancient and elusive creature that many believe resides deep within the forests, Bigfoot. Cryptozoologist Cliff Barackman, he spent years investigating Bigfoot activity, and Alaska, specifically the Triangle, has provided him with some of the most compelling clues yet. Caught on a thermal camera and captured in untraceable footprints, the signs are mounting that something massive and intelligent roams these woods.
I want to start making noises, basically knocks. Sasquatch use knocking noises to communicate back and forth with one another. Maybe they're hitting a tree with a stick, maybe they're clapping, maybe they're doing it with their mouth. I don't really know, but they make those noises. I want to start with the lower volume noises, thinking that I'm going to be here, boom, make a noise.
Footage from Lake Iliamna shows massive tracks, 17 inches in length with visible toe impressions. No human footprints nearby, no signs of machinery, just a perfect path of bipedal movement, far too large for any man. It's not a bear, said by Dr. Robert Alley. It's something walking upright, and something powerful.
Dr. Robert Alley is studying Keith's video of the footprints.
Shows very clearly a series of footprints leading off without any human footprints in close proximity, with scale an 11-inch metal detector, suggesting tracks of 16, 17, or 18 inches in length.
But in other parts of the triangle, the signs are more disturbing. On Prince of Wales Island, native elder Al Jackson speaks of cedar trees jammed upside down into the earth, roots exposed to the sky, driven 4 feet deep into the soil. There's no machinery, no skid marks, no human explanation. Elders say this is Bigfoot territory. They mark the land as a warning. Enter at your own risk.
You have to watch out for those big black gorillas that live up there. He told them that he said they marked their territories by driving these blown down trees into the ground upside down.
Legends passed down through generations speak of black gorilla men that roam Cloak Mountain. They say the trees are like fences, and trespassers don't always leave. Even more chilling are the reports of supernatural activity. Locals and researchers alike have begun to speculate that Bigfoot may not just be a creature of flesh and blood, but one that exists between worlds. Native beliefs in Alaska often blur the line between the physical and spiritual. Many describe Bigfoot as a being capable of vanishing instantly, almost like stepping between dimensions.
The strength required to insert a tree the size of the upside-down trees on Prince of Wales Island into even the soft muskeg for 4 feet is absolutely phenomenal. You're looking at maybe 1,500 pounds of log, and so you certainly need to have 1,000 pounds of animal doing that.
One eyewitness, Sarah, described an encounter where she and her partner saw something massive just beyond the tree line. Then, in an instant, it was gone. Like it just blinked out of existence. She said, there was something there. And then it wasn't. Some believe the Alaska Triangle might be more than geography. It might be a doorway, a wormhole, a tear in the fabric of our world where time, space, and reality bleed together. If Bigfoot is connected to this strange force, then perhaps it explains how it stays hidden and why people disappear.
Explain the sudden disappearance of the Bigfoot that Sarah and Ray saw.
There was something there, and then there wasn't.
Bam. Just like that, you know, it was gone.
Whether through ancient instinct or supernatural power, the creature seems to know when it's being watched. It leaves just enough behind, one howl, one print, one flicker on a thermal lens to keep us looking. And just when you think you're close, it vanishes. In Alaska, wilderness isn't just dangerous, it's aware. The triangle doesn't just test your survival skills, it tests your understanding of reality itself. And if you ever find yourself deep in its heart, remember this. Some warnings are not spoken. They're carved into the earth. Solo camping. Solo camping in unknown Bigfoot territory? No sane person should ever do that. We've already talked about those who wandered into these forbidden lands, only to never return. These places aren't just wilderness, they're warning zones. The Bigfoot phenomenon remains one of the strangest and most elusive mysteries in North America. People often ask, where's the evidence? But what they forget is that eyewitness testimony is evidence, and we've gathered it from zoologists, researchers, and lifelong locals. These aren't just stories. These are facts told by credible voices. We explored the chilling case of the Alaska Triangle, a possible hotspot of Bigfoot activity where hundreds have gone missing without a trace. But now, let's travel south, into lesser-known parks and off-the-map territories that carry the same warnings. Meet Larry, a solo camper and popular YouTuber.
Welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry if you're new. I felt extra motivated this morning and just got up early, and I have been cruising these back roads here in the mountains just south of Flagstaff. We're a little over 7,000 feet, and I've just never been back here this far, and it's just a beautiful area. Very little cell phone service. I do have one bar of service in case I guess I need to text out for an emergency, but...
He's not a paranormal investigator. He's just a man who enjoys the peace of the wild. But unfortunately, he often chooses to camp in areas labeled as red zones, regions known for Bigfoot sightings and unexplained vanishings. On one such trip, Larry found a beautiful clearing to park his van and set up camp. As night fell, he lit a fire and grilled some steak, ready to unwind.
We're gonna cook dinner on this little portable stove again, if I can remember how it went together. I actually was gonna make.
Then, bang! A loud knock echoed from just outside his van. He paused, alert. Probably just a branch falling, he muttered. But when his dogs began barking and growling at something unseen, completely terrified, Larry knew something wasn't right.
Hi.
And maybe, just maybe, it was time to leave. Who knows how many secrets lie buried in the silence of these mountains? Our next witness story takes us deep into the Cascade Mountains of Oregon, a vast, unforgiving stretch of wilderness, marked with warnings and whispered folklore. This is said to be prime territory for something old, something not quite human. And for one former deputy sheriff, it became the setting of what he believes was nearly the last day of his life. It was one of the most beautiful days he could ever remember seeing in the Cascades. The skies were clear, the air was fresh. He had just finished an early shift and decided to go on a hike, something he hadn't done in a while. He considered himself fit at the time, capable of handling the tough terrain.
Hey man, early. Everything good? Yeah, it's great. I kept the seat warm for you.
On this particular day, I was early getting off shift. It was one of the prettiest days I can ever remember seeing in the Cascade Mountains. It made me want to take a hike.
He hiked uphill for nearly 2 hours, winding through dense trees and uneven ground. Eventually, he reached an area where he could get a clearer view, so he pulled out his compass to get his bearings. That's when he saw it.
I've been walking uphill for 2 hours at least. It was taking a long time because of the terrain. I decided to find a route that would get me into a more open area. When I looked through my compass to take that measurement,
a figure stood in the distance, human-shaped, but unmistakably not human. It had all the parts of a man, a face with a nose, eyes, and mouth, but its proportions were off, wrong. Its presence sent a shock through his spine. It was staring directly at him. Then, something even stranger happened. The creature tilted its head slowly to one side. As if curious, the sheriff, frozen, watched in disbelief. Out of instinct, he reached for his weapon, but before he could react, the creature turned and bolted. The speed at which it moved was impossible. No man, no known animal could do that.
I was totally shocked. I saw a person standing there, but it was clearly not a human being. This thing had a human-like shape to it and a clear place for the eyes and the nose and the mouth, but it wasn't a person.
Curiosity pushed him forward. He kept hiking, although unease had started to creep in. He checked the time and realized darkness would fall soon, and he hadn't brought a flashlight. He decided to turn back. That's when he heard it. A massive snap, like a thick tree limb breaking, loud as a rifle shot. It came from his right. He wasn't alone. The sheriff knew exactly what this meant. It was circling him. It could see him, but he couldn't see it. A second snap echoed through the woods. This wasn't a random encounter anymore. It was tracking him. He rushed downhill, adrenaline now taking over. Then, something stopped him in his tracks. A deer appeared on the trail. It stood frozen, staring toward the sound of the snaps. It raised its nose, sniffed the air, and then bolted, as fast as he'd ever seen a deer run. That's when he felt it. The hair on the back of his neck stood up. He was being watched, not by an animal, not by a man, but by something with intelligence, something playing with him.
I carried on walking for a while, but I was feeling a little nervous. It was darker than it should be for me to get back to the car before dark, and I didn't have a flashlight. I realized I wasn't going to make it unless I turned around right then.
As he reached his car, the snapping sounds continued, but less frequently. And then they stopped. Silence. He remembers thinking, "They've stopped because he's right behind me." He didn't look back. He unlocked the door, got inside, and drove away. He still doesn't know what he saw that day, but he knows what he felt. He was hunted. Our next clip documents a solo hike in the wilderness. The hiker uses various camera filters to capture the scenery and records their thoughts and observations along the way, including animal scat and the challenges of filming with trekking poles. While walking, the hiker smells animal, and a moment later hears a distinct cracking sound in the woods. The sound is sharp and could be interpreted as a twig breaking under a heavy weight, which immediately puts the hiker on alert. The hiker has an unsettling experience while walking through a clearing. They see a pure shadow running through the bushes. They initially rationalize the sighting as possibly a black bear or a homeless person, but the way the figure moved, trying to be sneaky, suggests something more unusual. The sighting leaves them feeling uneasy and questioning whether they captured anything on video.
It was almost like it was a pure shadow that I was watching. It could have been a black bear. This is a wild place, but it was trying to be stealthy walking through the woods.
The hiker sees a shadowy figure running through the bushes, which they describe as a pure shadow that was trying to be stealthy. The sighting occurs in a wild, remote area, and the hiker immediately begins to question what they saw, even speculating that it could be a black bear. Later in the hike, the narrator is enjoying the peaceful surroundings next to a running stream. They mention that anytime they are next to running water, they hear voices. While it's a recurring experience for them, it's a chilling detail that adds to the mysterious atmosphere of the hike. The video concludes with the hiker enjoying a cup of instant coffee and reflecting on the solitude of the wilderness.
It's like I hear people talking.
Oh, the voices again. Got a table, but I'm not gonna set that up.
The hiker mentions that when they are next to running water, they hear voices, a phenomenon that happens to them often. This detail adds a layer of mystery and the possibility of a paranormal or unsettling presence to the whole environment. All right, folks, that's it for today. Real encounters caught on camera that blur the line between nature and nightmare. From the unsettling Wendigo sighting to the shadow of Bigfoot caught by a drone, and even the raw intensity of a bear charging out of nowhere. Each of these moments reminds us how there is so much we don't know about the wild. What do you think? Were these just tricks, frauds, or just animals we don't know of, or undeniable proof of something stranger roaming out there? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your theories. Until next time, remember, the wilderness holds secrets we have just begun discovering.